And our senior foreign correspondent, Mark Phillips, now again joins us from London. And Mark, it is hard to quantify the shock with which this result was received, not just there, but here stateside. How is it, if nothing else, that what has now transpired was missed?
Well, that's the question of the hour, isn't it? It's not just the shock of what's happened, it's the shock of what continues to happen. A lot of what the argument that was being made on the part of those who wanted to stay in was described as scaremongering, the fear that there would be an economic collapse, the fear that the entire relationship with Europe, the very, very important relationship, would have to be renegotiated, and there was no guarantee what that renegotiation would be. All of those fears are now being realized. We saw overnight the precipitous drop of the pound, 10% drop, the biggest drop that there's ever been since it's been floating. It's at the lowest levels now that it's been since the mid-'80s. We saw the drop in the stock market, not just here, but across Europe and Asia as well. A lot of the markets had bet that this would not happen, and in fact there was a bit of a buy-in yesterday, and the numbers were up. That's all gone away now. When Wall Street opens, the betting is the same things will happen there. And already, of course, there are casualties. David Cameron is the first one. His finance minister, the Chancellor of the Exchequer, George Osborne, it's difficult to see how he survives. There'll be new political leadership here in the autumn when the Tories can pick a new leader. There's no guarantee they'll be able to get a budget through the Commons here after that. We could be looking at another election, other dominoes falling as well. The Scots, who voted very strongly to stay in, and you'll remember they had a referendum just a couple of years ago deciding quite strongly to stay in. Now the Scottish government says that they are beginning to enact legislation, or will shortly, to install a second referendum process, and so it is not at all unlikely that there'll be another Scottish referendum, and this time much more of a chance of them succeeding. So Europe is fragmenting, the UK may be fragmenting, we just don't know where this is going to go.
And as it is now faced with nothing short of a constitutional crisis, Mark, as well, it's not just the economy of the UK, but the questions now is how does whatever becomes of the UK, how will it now deal financially and otherwise with what remains of the EU?
Well, that's the big thing that is to be worked out. The argument during the whole referendum campaign on the part of those, the victorious part of those who want to leave, was that the UK was such an important trading partner of Europe, that so many German cars are sold in the UK, that no one there will, for example, cut off their nose to spite their face, and that a favorable trade deal will be worked out. How that can replace the deal that now exists, the open market, the no tariffs that exist between the UK and Europe, is a matter of conjecture at this point. All of the bravado of the leavers saying, you know, we're a big economy, we're the fifth biggest economy in the world, we can work something out, that is all now to be tested.
And tested it shall be. Mark Phillips there in London again. We appreciate your reporting here. Of course, we'll be with you throughout the day here at CBS. And Mark, thanks.